What important message does Spirit have for you? Hi there, my gorgeous soul peeps and soul fam. You are here with Tarot by Cassy for another pick a card reading, asking what important message does Spirit have for you? So we have got 4 piles today. If you already know what pile you want, you can jump ahead at any time through the timestamps, which will be listed in the description and in the comments. It's a timeless reading, so it may have a message for you whenever you come across it or it comes to find you. And it is also a general reading, so please only take what resonates, leave what doesn't for somebody who needs it. But as I said, we've got 4 piles today. You can choose more than one pile if more than one calls to you, and if you are in a pile and it's really not resonating, it doesn't feel like it's a message for you, then it isn't. So you can feel free to jump back out and into one of the other piles and see if any of them resonate anymore. Otherwise, you can go and check out another one of my readings or even potentially another reader. So if you're still with me, we will go through the cards. Pile number 1, we have number 4, become more objective. Pile number 2, we have number 36, you have support. Pile number 3, we have the number 3, awaken your vulnerability. And pile number 4, you have number 13, explore your ancestry. So guys, feel free to pause the video to meditate a little longer if you need to on which card speaks to you. Alternatively, you can actually use the timestamps. That's how I like to pick my cards when I see numbers that resonate with me in the timestamps. Any way that you do it, I will be looking forward to seeing you in your reading. Hello there, my gorgeous pile number 1. If you chose card number 4, be more objective, then you are my pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. So right off the bat here, what I am getting is that there is obviously a situation that you need to be more objective about. That could be anything. At the moment, we will need to get some tarot to get an idea of what is happening for you, pile number 1. But definitely the message, be more objective, something that you need to take a step back from and look at with different eyes, without attachment, without any sort of bias. So this is obviously a situation that's very close to your heart, something that is difficult to let go of and see from a third party sort of perspective, or even just to be able to look at things from somebody else's point of view. So we are going to grab some tarot. Very interesting, yeah, the Two of Swords. And she's blindfolded. She needs to make a decision, but she has to do it intuitively. She's not able to use her eyes to see what it is that she needs to see. And these crows always remind me of them pulling strings a little bit. I can't tell if that's actually her hair or if it's over here. It looks like it's a little bit gathered around her wrist. So it sort of just makes me feel like there's some trickery going on over here, and be more objective, and then her with the blindfold over her eyes. I feel like you need to really step back from whatever this situation is and look at it from a very different point of view. You need to be looking at it from your heart, from an objective place, rather than your logical mind, which I think is giving you a lot of preconceived notions and judgments, and is creating a difficulty in you being able to see clearly and see the situation for what it actually is. We're going to get more tarot to see if we can find out what this situation is. I forgot to show the decks of cards that I'm using in the introduction, but they'll be listed in the description if anyone is interested in the ones that I've used. That Two of Swords came flying out. So yeah, I really feel that there's something that you're caught up in. Ace of Pentacles. There's something that you're caught up in, or something that you are dealing with that you are not able to see with an open mind, and it's causing difficulties for you. It's making you feel possibly distracted, confused. Maybe you don't know how to move forward with this situation. It could be something that is relatively new. It could be the beginning of something, and you're not able to see it objectively at this point in time, so it doesn't necessarily feel like a positive thing. But typically the Ace of Pentacles is a very positive card and the sign of the new beginnings of something material. So some sort of business, some financial endeavor, whether that's too many, Spirit, whether that is buying a property, buying a car, buying a business. But Pentacles typically tend to represent the earthly realms, the physical things, the stuff that we can touch. So maybe there's a new opportunity that is occurring for you and you are not able to see very clearly what's in store for you if you actually move forward with this opportunity. And it could be that you're being very negative because of past hurts, or it could be that you are being a little overly positive. Ace of Swords. Again, that's new thought forms coming through, new ways of looking at things. I also tend to, I don't think it's in the guidebook, but with this spiral of Orcus going that way, with this spiral, it kind of makes me think about spiraling thoughts, especially with all of these little math symbols and whatnot around her. I think very much Ace of Swords is about new clarity of thinking, but potentially it means that you have also been spiraling over something because you haven't been able to remain objective in the way that you're looking at it, and you are either eagerly positive, eagerly negative, or maybe just completely stuck in the middle like this girl shows without really a clear picture of which way to move forward. So, Spirit, what is the important information that you want my pile ones to know? If this is resonating so far, then obviously this is your pile, guys. If this doesn't feel like there's just, if this is your pile, there should be a situation that comes straight to mind and you're just like, yep, I know exactly what it is that she's talking about. Maybe you haven't been able to register that you need to be objective about it. Maybe you haven't registered that you are not being objective about it. But there is something that is causing you to stop and think and hesitate when it comes to making a decision. And I just pulled out the 10 of Cups, but in reverse, as well as the King of Wands in reverse. So this is very much about stuck energy, and the 10 of Cups is a happiness card. It's something very joyous and reaching a really beautiful goal. I'll grab the guidebook and have a little look at what they mean specifically in reverse. But yeah, there is something that could be really good. I get the feeling. I don't think it's something negative. With these two cards here, I think that there is something that you are trying to make a decision on, but it would be very, very good for you. And it would be the start of new things that are blessings, but you need to be objective about the situation before you are able to bring those blessings in for yourself. So the 10 of Cups reversed. Disharmony or disputes, miscommunication, struggling relationships, unrealistic expectations, not feeling worthy of love, a delay. So yeah, that very much makes sense. If that is how you've been feeling, pile number one, all of these things, disharmony, miscommunication, struggling relationships, unrealistic expectations, either maybe of yourself or from others, then I feel like this is what you need to be objective about. So maybe there's even a situation that's going on within your family, your relationship, something that is really upsetting you and it's causing a lot of discord and a lot of disharmony and creating a lot of friction. And you are being called to step back from the emotions of it and to release yourself from the burden of either feeling right or trying to prove that you are right. I think there is something new trying to grow here, and you are too close to this situation to allow it to grow. So it's something that you need to really take a big step back from. The King of Wands in reverse, being overly ambitious, a need for compassion, egomania, being too assertive, explosive emotions, and impatience. Yeah, so even with the explosive emotions, maybe this is something that you feel really, really passionately about, and that is what is creating all of this friction. It could be, it could even be a family business potentially, and that could be what is creating the friction. But there is definitely room here for something new to grow and a new way of thinking to come in for you to look at things differently, pile number one, so that you do find yourself releasing yourself from the ties of the emotions that are keeping you stuck in this limbo and in this feeling of disharmony and things being disjointed and not comfortable. And it also did say overly ambitious, and I did say that I kind of felt Like maybe there's a family business vibe going on here. This is obviously not for everyone, but maybe for some of you. Or a business that's very much your baby, something that you have been working on for a really long time, and maybe now you're struggling to release it into the world and allowing for it to be critiqued or to be used by other people, to be essentially taken out of your hands. It's no longer just the baby that you're working on that nobody sees. Maybe it's time to actually release it out into the world, and you have ambitions around that, but you're starting to feel afraid of actually putting what it is that you've created out into the world. It could be family fighting, infighting, something that is very emotionally fraught, and you need to take a step back from those emotions and try to find some balance and some new ways of looking at things so that new energy can start to come in. So I'm going to grab some more cards from the Resurrection Oracle, which is this one that I used over here, to see what important message does the universe have for my pile number ones. Okay. Unlock your heart, 35. Yeah, so pile number one, you could be really struggling at the moment emotionally. That's what I'm sort of feeling. I feel like there's a lot of anger going on in this situation, a lot of hostility and a lack of compassion, and that could be coming from you because you feel like you've been burned and you feel justified in those actions or in the behaviors, in the feelings that you're having. Or it could be that you're feeling like that is what you're on the receiving end from other people. But either way, the message that Spirit wants you to know is that you need to be the bigger person in this situation. You need to take, so even if you aren't in the wrong, even if the way that you are looking at it is absolutely spot on, removing yourself from those emotional ties of this situation, being the bigger person, forgiving and forgetting is what's going to help move it along. Even if you feel that that's not particularly fair, you could do some sort of cord cutting ritual, some cleansing work, even, I don't know a lot about these things, but even just some banishing work to help to remove the negativity that's surrounding this situation and creating so much disharmony. Learn from karma. Very interesting. I love that that came out right as I was talking about this, about you being the bigger person and stepping up. That is going to bring about some really beautiful karma for you, pile number one. And if you are in a situation where someone is creating the disharmony, the discord, making fights, maybe you have to give in on something or give something over to someone and then start again with this pentacle over here, start thinking up a new way of going about things because you need to concede something in some way, shape or form. Know that if this person or people that are doing you dirty at the moment and treating you badly or creating all of this negativity and making you feel this way, karma will definitely catch up with them in the end as well. It may not happen right away. It may not happen in a way that you get to see it, although sometimes it does and it's usually glorious. But right now, Spirit wants you to know that there will be good karma coming in for you when you release whatever it is that needs to be released and you remove your focus from being on the emotional in this situation and start focusing more on the practical, on what the outcome is that you would like that will actually result in this energy clearing, being able to move on from it, being able to start something new and something that is just for you, that you don't necessarily need to give away anything of to others, and allowing for you to have new thoughts, to have new ideas, to have new ways of communicating with people as well. So that's the other thing with the Ace of Swords. It might be that by letting go of the emotional side of this and focusing on being objective, it will help to remove this blindfold from you, and you will, or even it will keep you looking within intuitively and focusing on what you need to focus on instead of focusing on this situation, which will allow for a whole bunch of new thoughts to come into your brain, a whole new perspective, a whole new way of looking at things. So now we've got the Daily Tarot, which I thought was rather cute. It's not something I would use as a main deck. It's also really difficult to shuffle. I'm going to do this in two halves, or I'll throw these everywhere. But each one has, it's a very simple tarot, and each one has a positive spin on the card meaning, which is interesting because tarot is very much about light and dark and not just the positive, but this one is. And so I thought I would include it so that we also receive some positive messages from Spirit on what is important that you need to hear right now. Okay, no one wanted to jump from that half. Let's see how we go with this half, and then we might just cut the deck and see how we go. No. All right. So I'm just going to split the deck, and I choose you. Queen of Swords. I speak my truth with confidence and get my point across clearly. I love this because we were just talking about this a moment ago with the clarity of thought, the new ways of thinking and new perspectives coming in, also giving you the opportunity to start communicating differently and to be able to still speak your truth. Because what I'm saying here with this reading is not completely give in. Not if something is honestly really unfair and it's really wrong and you need to fight for your rights within this situation, then you really should definitely do that. But being emotional and caught up in the emotions of the situation rather than standing back and focusing on the facts is only going to keep you stuck going in circles. Whereas if you can remove the emotions and just look at what the facts are, even if right is on your side and you do need to keep fighting to maintain your position, you need to release yourself from the emotional attachment so that you can actually learn new ways of communicating. You can speak your truth and get your point across clearly because you can do it calmly and confidently. The Fool, beautiful. There is nothing to fear. So yeah, I really feel like whatever this situation is, it feels extremely heavy, extremely chaotic, extremely difficult to resolve, but that's only because there is so much emotional attachment within this situation, and taking a step back will actually simplify everything and make you realize that there is nothing to fear here. Karma has your back. Karma has what's in store for anyone who may need it in store for them as well, and that now is a time for you to try to find the softer, loving, more kind aspects of yourself and the way that you look at things so that you can start to see this situation through renewed eyes. And once you do that, things are going to feel a lot more simple. You will be like the Fool stepping off, which he's not doing here in this picture, but generally it's the young man stepping off into a cliff or into the abyss, not knowing what is coming up for him. So even without knowing what is around the corner, the important message for you from Spirit is that there is nothing to be feared in this situation. Things, even if it doesn't seem as so initially, things are going to work out in your favor. If something ends, something new is going to grow in its place. 8 of Wands, I am moving forward quickly and with great focus. Yeah, and I feel like the sooner that you are able to release yourself from whatever ties and binds this situation is keeping you within, I feel that you will start to feel better about this situation very, very quickly. These 8 of Wands talks about swift movement, things happening very, very fast, a lot of things happening at once. So I feel once you change your perspective and the way that you've been looking at things, this situation is going to feel like it's improving very, very rapidly for you, and that you are able to move onto it and into new and better things much sooner than you have been expecting. And now we're going to wrap you guys up. I'm just going to, excuse me a minute. I've got my camera angled a little differently, which you may or may not notice if you are long-term viewers. If you are, thank you. Hello, I love you. So yeah, checking on the time. We've got the Soul Wisdom Oracle to close us out and just give us final message on what important information does Spirit want you to know. What important message does Spirit have for you? My beautiful pile number ones. What important message does Spirit have for my pile number ones? Okay. Celebrate. Reward your accomplishments. Beautiful. I feel very much like whatever is happening at the moment. Oh, wow. And at the base of the deck as well, family tree. You are connected to your ancestors. And so I feel that not only do your ancestors want you to resolve this situation in a way that keeps things intact. So not fighting, not arguing, not slinging insults, not bringing up things from the past. that have hurt you, staying away from conversations where you're just ruminating over the things that that person did wrong and then they end up doing the same with you, or even if they're the one kicking it off and starting those conversations, avoiding them, looking at new ways of communicating, looking at new ways of thinking about things, knowing that your ancestors would want for you to be free of this situation and for it to no longer be hanging over your head. And also just with family, like I said, I did get the impression of a family business or some sort of family situation. And that could also be with your romantic partner who you would obviously consider as your family as well. It may not be just, say, mum, dad, sisters and brothers, but it could be. But celebrate, reward your accomplishments. I feel that once you have come out of this situation, pile number one, once you've got clarity and you're able to move forward and you can see that things are starting to change and that they are getting back to a place that you would wish to have them, that your objectivity and ability to take a step back and drag yourself back out of the drama, back out of the stress, back into a situation where you can feel very balanced, very level-headed, and very in tune with the bigger picture of whatever is happening, you will start to gain your confidence. You will start to find new ways to clearly communicate your truth. There isn't anything to fear here. This is not a situation where you are going to have to burn bridges or you're going to be losing people or drastic things are going to change in your life. This is a situation that needs to be resolved and can be by you being that bigger person, taking a step back, being compassionate, being willing to forgive and forget, knowing that you will have good karma on its way for you for doing this thing and being that big person, because it may be very, very hard to do that, but you will have reasons to celebrate. And I love that this looks like two sisters and the niece here, the daughter, celebrating together as family. So pile number one, if that resonated, please hit the like button. It really does help with the algorithm. Comment if you want to let me know what you thought of the reading. Share if you think it would resonate with anyone else. Subscribe if you haven't already, and thank you so much if you have. I've gotten a couple of new subscribers over the last week and I am beside myself with excitement. Thank you guys. I hope that I will get to see you in future readings, if not in this one. But yeah, thank you so much for letting me read for you pile number one. I might see you in another pile or I might see you in another reading. Hello there, my pile number two. If you chose number 36, you have support, then you are my pile number two. Welcome to your reading. So right away, obviously you have support. That could be in the real world, and just a reminder for you to call on friends or family who are able to assist you. And if you feel that that's not the case, possibly if you feel like you have no support, you wouldn't have chosen this pile. But if you did, and you very much feel that you don't have any support and that's what you're lamenting at the moment and things are difficult and a struggle, and you are like legitimately correct that you don't have support in the real world, because I definitely know some people don't. It's easy to say that someone has support, but you could be living in a regional area, you could be living away from your family, you could even be out of contact, in a no contact situation with family. So potentially you don't feel that you have any support in this real world. If that's the case, then this is very much a message from Spirit to let you know that you are being looked after angelically. You do have angelic support, you have otherworldly support, that could even be the support of one or more ancestors. There could be someone that you know and love who has passed on, that this is letting you know that person is your guardian angel. They are with you, they're keeping you safe. And I didn't read out the number for what that means on the card for pile number one, but for you guys, I feel called to say that 3 and 6 added together becomes 9. And that speaks about completion, humanitarianism, idealism, and letting go. So maybe this is a case of needing to let go of feeling unsupported and focus on what support you do have. And that can sometimes even come down to just recognizing little instances in your day where maybe something could have gone wrong and it didn't because somebody intervened somehow. One example I can give was trying to figure out how to operate the DVD player at work so that I could put on a movie for our residents, and I was very under pressure and very stressed about time. And then the pastor actually happened to come in and walk past that area, which isn't something that she would usually do, and I wasn't expecting to see her. And then she was the one who actually gave me the instructions and we got the DVD working together. So it was only a little thing, but it was such a big thing because it meant that I wasn't trying to figure this out on my own. I didn't have to go and seek someone out for help. I felt very pleased because I didn't have to show how awkward I felt that I didn't know how to do this, what should be and was a very simple thing. But it was just a moment that I looked at and went, you know what, I feel like angels had my back there. The timing of that lady coming along, the fact that she was so helpful and friendly didn't make me feel silly at all, and also she knew what she was doing. And the fact that it was so simple, and as I said, she didn't make me feel bad about not being able to figure it out. It really felt like a moment of support, of angelic support from maybe someone from my family that's passed on, maybe my gran, maybe my dad, but noticing those little moments that actually go right instead of going wrong, and feeling as though you have that support with you. Thinking about your angels and then noticing a butterfly is definitely a sign that you do have angelic support around you. I was thinking about my angels and noticed a gorgeous leaf come fluttering down from the tree because it's autumn over here in Australia. If you're watching from somewhere else, so it's actually winter now, but this was in autumn. So even noticing this little feather outside, and not usually seeing feathers this small, and not often having feathers around this house either. So I picked that up and very much took that as a sign that there are angels with me. So pile number 2, the important message for you right now is that you do have support no matter what it is that you are going through. So please do not feel alone in whatever situation you are currently experiencing. And it could even be speaking about real world support. So you might have support that you haven't thought to reach out to, whether that is family and friends who would be willing to support you, but maybe you just don't feel as though you're able to ask them. Or it could even be support in the form of community groups. If you're struggling right now, food banks. I know that there is a lot of pressure on all of the services, so I really don't want to be one of those readers that says just reach out for help and then actually it can be bloody impossible to get help in our system. I'm going to be just really real. But actually, it's such a long story, I won't go off onto a tangent. But yeah, it's difficult to find support in this day and age. Sometimes it can be easy and you can get exactly what you need, and sometimes it can be nearly impossible. But this is a message to let you know that there is support out there. So depending on what type of support you need, please know that there is help and there are places that you can turn to that will assist you, and that you are not alone in whatever it is that you're dealing with. So to find out a bit more about what it is that you are dealing with, pile number 2, they came flying out. We're grabbing some cards from the Light Seers Tarot. And interestingly, you've got 2 kings and they've both come up upright. King of Pentacles and the King of Swords over here as well. So I also feel like not only do you have support in this situation, pile number 2, I feel like you've got it well in hand. And so maybe it's not even a case of you're struggling and you are looking for support and wondering where it is. Maybe it's that you have actually achieved something really quite great recently. You have maybe gotten a new job, moved into a new position, started a business or some sort of project. But and this is a message from Spirit saying that you have support in what it is that you have been working on. This thing that has put you in this king position, where you look at them, he's having a great time, he's smiling and he's happy, he's chilling like a villain and just enjoying himself. So maybe you have done something really impressive and this is Spirit letting you know that you are supported in it. Yeah, beautiful. 6 of Pentacles. You're in a position to be very generous and decide what you want to give and how much you want to give to others. So did do the little spiel on support. And I think you are still, I think I'm right in saying that you're very angelically supported. You might have ancestors that are guardian angels for you and watching over whatever it is you're doing. But pile number 2, if you were not already aware of it and you're not already sitting pretty like these 2 over here and feeling the abundance and all of the good that is flowing in for you at the moment, you definitely will soon. Your message is that this is all coming, if it is not here already, and that people are proud of what you've achieved. They're proud of what you've accomplished. Gorgeous, yeah, the Magician. They look up to you. They think that you are someone who is very powerful, very capable, and who has turned nothing into something, or turned very little into something, and you are now maybe living large and bringing in abundance and prosperity, and people are all in support of what it is that you have created. 7 of Swords. Okay, and that typically is something sneaky going on. This crow looks like he wants to out this man who is, by the looks of all things, sneaking feathers away from these crows. So maybe you have had to do something in a way that maybe felt a bit dodgy or a bit unethical. Maybe you beat someone else out for a promotion and you're feeling a little bit bad about that because they missed out and you got the gig. Maybe you found an easier way to get something done, and so you managed to finish it more easily, and that meant that you ended up in a better position. So maybe you just chat GPT'd it. I'm not talking about outright plagiarizing or doing something, definitely not doing something unlawful, but I feel like there's something that's happened here, and that's why I think that this support card has come up. So I feel like you have gained something in a way that maybe to yourself feels as though it's underhanded and not necessarily the way in which you would have wanted to have gained this position, this promotion, this opportunity. But what Spirit wants you to know is that you do have support. So whatever it is that you have created for yourself, in whichever way that you have managed to do that, Spirit wants you to know that while you might feel that you have done something sneaky or you've done something morally questionable, providing that nobody got hurt, because obviously I'm not advocating that, that it was a victimless crime. Let's just say it was a victimless crime. You do have support on both sides of the fence, angelic and real world, to say that you deserved whatever it is that you have created. You definitely have created it. You've brought about abundance. You have magicked up this situation for yourself that has put you into a better position. And in doing so, that's going to allow you to be more generous with others. So it could even be that you've been moved into a role and, as I said, you beat someone else out for it. And maybe that's because you know the manager and he has a really terrific personal opinion of you, but to the outside world, it might feel like it's a case of who you know rather than what you know. So you're feeling some sort of imposter syndrome, something that feels like you shouldn't be actually gaining what it is that you have gained, when in actual fact, you moving into this position is going to give you the opportunity to throw more hours that other person's way, for example. So maybe you'll be able to assist them with projects and get them extra staff members or add to their budget, or you will be able to do something. If someone feels slighted or wronged in this position, you have not done that to this person. That's just the way that things have worked out. You have support and people believe that you deserve what you've got, and it's going to put you into a position to be able to do more for that person and for others, to be generous as a whole and to really give back. So pile number 2, I'm assuming that this is resonating or you wouldn't still be here, but if it is, I feel like you have actually moved up, you've advanced, you've done something, achieved something, gotten somewhere, but you have been feeling some sort of guilt about the way that it has come about, and the universe wants you to know, Spirit wants you to know, and the universe, that it's important for you to know that you are not deemed unworthy, a bad person, an imposter. You have achieved what you have achieved through your own skills, your own talents, your own abilities, your ability to communicate, your ability to juggle finances, be an authoritarian, be in a leadership role, create opportunities, and that you definitely have support in where you are at this point in time. So now we're going to grab some more cards from the Resurrection Oracle to find out some more information about the important message that Spirit has for you. But yeah, if you've been in a good position but feeling bad about it, now it's time to let that go. Develop stronger concentration. Number 8. 8 represents empowerment, success, finance, and authority. Yeah. I feel like it's time for you to step into this king energy over here, to start acting as an authority, to take the mantle of the leader and to really just revel in the position that you are in. And this does feel very much like a work reading, I have to say. The last one felt like it was speaking a lot about family. This feels very work focused, but it could relate to a different situation. If you have a completely different situation and this is still resonating, then by all means take the message. Asking for my pile number 2, what important message does Spirit have for them? Examine your integrity. Okay, that makes perfect sense. Number 11. So 11 for the angel numbers, or added together 2, which is harmony, cooperation, patience, and relationships. Makes perfect sense. I feel like this is what you have been doing. This just sums up everything that I've said over here. I feel that whatever this situation is, whatever this gain has been, you have been examining your integrity to make sure that you have not somehow deceived someone, or that your spoils are not ill-gotten gains. You haven't hurt anybody in order to achieve what you have achieved. And I feel that you are now needing to move past worrying about what it is that you've done. Know that you do have support and that you are in the position that you are supposed to be in. And also looking at your integrity in terms of who you give what to. So also not playing favorites out of any sort of sense of guilt that you may have, or allowing yourself to be stepped on for the same reasons. I feel that it is now time for you to know that you are very, very, I don't know what the word is. I was going to say integrous. That's not a word even at all. That you have a lot of integrity and developing stronger concentration. I feel like that just means focusing on the task at hand, focusing on what it is that you have achieved, focusing on how you can make that work in your best interest and in the best interest of others. And now we're asking for some messages from the Daily Tarot. The Devil: I have the power to free myself and create the future that I deserve. Yeah, I feel like you need to free yourself from negative thoughts, imposter syndrome, and questioning whether you are where you're supposed to be and whether you have gotten there through your own means. And the Tower: I have the strength to handle anything the universe throws at me. So maybe this situation that you are in even came about from a Tower moment. Maybe something came right down. So a boss lost their job and you've ended up in it. Or even just that you have ended a relationship because it no longer felt healthy for you anymore. And in doing so, it felt like you were chopping off that support, you were losing it. But in actual fact, you're going to be bringing new things into your life, knowing that you have actually made that ending. So you've let go of whatever the devil is keeping you close with, and you have been through a situation where it feels like everything is lost, but you do have the strength and the ability to be able to manage this and create something new, be the magician, build something entirely new. And maybe you have been moved into a position that you just don't even feel ready for. This is the universe letting you know that you definitely have the strength and the confidence to manage this, and you will have support. So again, if this is a work reading and you have been moved into a position that maybe you're feeling completely lost in, you feel like an imposter, you don't feel like you should be doing that job, know that you will have co-workers around you that are supporting you, that are there for you, that think that this is a positive thing, and they are happy to see you where you are at. So I'm going to grab one more. Please, Spirit, to ask what important message you have for my pile number 3. Whoops. Perfect. I'm going to take you. Gave me about 20 cards, but I just want this one, which is strength. Everything I need is within me. So yeah, I'm feeling very much like almost an imposter syndrome situation, rather than that you've done anything dodgy or sneaky or underhanded, but it also could just feel as though you have, because you do have imposter syndrome, and you are being asked to concentrate on the positives. You are being asked to concentrate on being a leader, stepping up, knowing that you have the ability, that no matter what life throws at you, you are going to be able to overcome it, and knowing that you have the integrity to walk your own path and do things your way, but with goodness in your heart. You are giving, you are generous, you are going to turn whatever positive situation that comes into your life for yourself into what is something really good for others as well. So now, to close us out, pile number 2, we are going to ask the Soul Wisdom Oracle for just a couple more messages on what important message does Spirit have for you right now. Yeah, you can be really proud of where you're at. You can be really, really pleased with how you have come back from whatever may have knocked you down. And wherever you're at now, you have earned it and you are worthy of it. And people can see that and they are very, very happy for you. Okay. And if I was right in the first place, in the very, very beginning of this reading, when I said maybe you don't feel like you have support, maybe you're struggling right now, maybe you are in that Tower moment, and maybe you are tied to negative things that you aren't able to get yourself away from, and it feels like you don't have support and you don't have anyone around you. So if I was right off the bat, hopefully you haven't already moved on because I went off onto a separate tangent. But I very much feel like this is the universe saying you have people that care about you, whether it's in the real world or it's in the angelic realm. You are not alone, and to try to focus on seeing those signs, knowing that there will be generosity coming to you, that you are the magician and you can build your life back up from whatever this tower moment is, and that you are strong enough to do what you need to do to free yourself so that you can have the future that you deserve. You are loved universally, pile number 2, and even if it's in the spirit realm, people want to see you succeed. Inner child healing, your authentic self wants to be whole. Yeah, so just what I'm talking about. Things may have been really terrible for you when you were younger, and that has caused problems for you now. That could be very much, as it said at the start, why you might be no contact with your family, for example, and so it does feel like you've got no support. But there are things that you can do within yourself to start healing yourself, to start turning things around, to make it feel possible to reach out and into the community to find that support and help that you deserve. And if you are suffering from imposter syndrome, inner child healing can also help a whole lot with that as well. So I feel like you're 2 and I just, yes, want 1. Family tree, interesting. That came out in pile number 1 as well. You are connected to your ancestors. Love that, love that, love that. Right as I'm saying about the support that you have in the spiritual realm, here is a message clear as day. You are connected to your ancestors. So pile number 1, either way that read to you, of the 2 very clear scenarios that I gave, you are supported. You have backing in the spiritual realm. You're protected. Your ancestors know that you walk with integrity and you have a generous and compassionate heart. You have the ability to be a leader, to really step up in whatever this situation is. It's time for you to concentrate on how good of a person you are, your integrity, how much you give back to others, and you can feel really, really good about yourself. And if you don't feel supported in this world, it's time for you to build yourself back up again to the point that you feel capable of reaching out for the support that is out there, and knowing that you are very much supported by your angels, supported by your ancestors. You have divine support all around you, pile number 2. So if that resonated, please hit the like button. Comment if you want to let me know how the reading was for you. Share if you think it would resonate with someone else. Subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much if you have. I appreciate it. I've got a couple of new subscribers and I am so excited that you guys have come on board. Welcome to the itty bitty Soul Peeps and Soul Fam Vibe Tribe. And I might see you in another pile, or I might see you in another reading. Hello there, my pile number 3. If you chose this card, Awaken Your Vulnerability, then you are my pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. So right off the bat, you might be somebody who is very closed up emotionally, someone who could even be known as a fearful avoidant, if you have possibly heard of that term before, but someone who keeps to themselves when it comes to connecting and sharing with others, someone who isn't particularly open about what it is that they're feeling, or maybe you're someone who just really struggles to ask for any help. It could be that you will tell people what it is that is happening for you, but you won't accept any offers of assistance. I'm just looking at this card. I didn't pay a lot of attention to the last 2, but I'm noticing with this one, this sore in the middle and her legs have been separated from her body up here. So I feel like it's almost like asking for help feels like it would cut you in 2. It feels like it would put you on display in the way that they're holding up these legs in this frame here for all the world to see. And she's looking sadly down at this rose. And even though there's an angel here watching over her, it's like asking for help has taken something away from her. So I feel like to open yourself up, even if it is to just discuss what it is that you're feeling, feels like it like cuts you right open. And it's extremely difficult for you to be able to reach out and let other people know what it is that you are going through. And I've just noticed too that this is a number 3, and that stands for creativity, but also communication, expression, and social interaction. So pile number 3, I feel like it's time for you to start opening up, even if that's with, say, your partner. And it may not be all of a sudden you like go from sitting at the pub and talking about the football and what's going on in your work day and basically nothing of any real substance. And then the next night you're down there letting everybody know exactly how you're feeling and what's happening in your relationship and how you're struggling. That is not what I'm suggesting at all. But maybe little by little, in new and different ways, it is time for you to start opening up to those who you really care about and can trust. And maybe it feels as though you can't trust anybody to open up and be vulnerable around them, but it might just be a case of actually just saying openly when someone asks how you're doing, being honest and saying not that great because XYZ, and just trying it out and seeing how it feels. But I get that you are someone who is quite closed off and it is stunting opportunities, making it difficult for people to get through to you. Maybe you're only able to see the negative side of things because you're not being vulnerable, so you don't have the opportunity to see how much people can actually be worth the benefit of the doubt, how much they can actually help assist you, even if it's just to lighten the load on your shoulders a little bit because you've shared it with somebody, pile number 3. But I feel like it's time for you to try to start opening up in whatever ways it takes you to be able to do that. So now we're going to ask the Light Seers Tarot for a bit more information for my pile number 3 on what important message does the universe have for them. 7 of Wands. Beautiful, where she's looking very zen. I'm going to actually ask the book about this one. I'm trying to visualize the 7 of Wands in the traditional tarot to see what it means, and I can't bring it to mind right now. Light Seer, challenge, grounding and protecting yourself, movement and growth, creative innovation, remaining ahead, feeling vulnerable, super interesting, feeling vulnerable, assigned to continue to share your ideas and self-expression. Yeah, so group number 3, that's an absolute definite message. On the back of this one, feeling vulnerable, knowing that it's okay to feel vulnerable. So maybe there even is a situation that has left you feeling vulnerable. Maybe you have split up with someone and so obviously your friends know that you're going to be sad. Or maybe you have just lost a job and you are even financially vulnerable at the moment and need to rely on someone for their assistance. Maybe your partner has had to step up and you've become dependent on them, for want of a better word. And that has been really difficult for you. Either way, know that you are supported in this moment. The way these 7 of Wands are almost like helping her yoga mat to levitate so she can feel calm. She can ease herself into this feeling of feeling vulnerable. And I feel that it is something that you are either needing to experience or you're already experiencing, and it's putting you out of your comfort zone. And that is what you are struggling with, pile number 3. When what Spirit is letting you know is that you are exactly where you are supposed to be on your path right now. So even if it's not a great position and that's what's leaving you feeling vulnerable, this is a time for a life lesson and an opportunity for you to start changing your ways to allow other people to come into your life. I think that the 7 of Wands also said something about open communication. So as I said, being open when people are asking how you're going. Obviously at the supermarket, you don't want to be giving your life story, but if a friend asks you how you're going, not feeling the need to just say good and keep on going, actually being honest, and you will find that that will bring about respect from other people. You are not going to experience any derision for letting people know what is happening for you right now, beautiful, pile number 2. And we have the 10 of Wands, which is all about heavy burdens. But in this card, she's got the bullock here. I think it's a bullock sharing her burden. She's not carrying it all alone. So opening up, allowing others to come in and help. Beautiful. Ace of Wands. New energy. New spiritual lessons, new insights and expansion. And the Lovers, which talks about partnerships and being able to rely on people. Duality between the masculine and the feminine, which is very much about being vulnerable. Often if you are a man, oftentimes men are taught that it is not good to be vulnerable. Women are taught that too in many, many ways. But whether you are male or female, leaning into your vulnerability, which can be seen as a very feminine trait, but is just a very human trait, is what is being called, what you're being called upon to do right now. And the Chariot, yeah, you have a choice. You are in the driver's seat of your life. So if being vulnerable is not going to take away the power that you have to move to where you want to move, to go to where you want to go, to make your decisions, to be powerful and forceful and forthright in your own life, and to be able to drive yourself to wherever you need to go. Being vulnerable is not going to reduce that at all for you, pile number 3. So as I said, if you're in a position where you're already feeling vulnerable and you feel like you are not in a comfortable position being there, this is exactly where you are supposed to be right now. And it's going to bring in new connections. It's going to bring in new spirited opportunities, new inspiration, new excitement, new things, and will give you the drive to continue on your journey to get to where you need to go. So maybe you're stunted right now with where you're sitting. As I said, maybe you're financially dependent on someone. Maybe you are looking for work and things haven't been turning up. Maybe you have just left a relationship and you are starting again anew by yourself. It could be absolutely anything, but whatever it is, if you are not opening up and being vulnerable at this point in time, you are definitely being called to. And you are also being called to not be afraid of the vulnerability that you're experiencing, whether it's just emotional vulnerability, and I say just, but for some people that is worse than any sort of other vulnerability, or whether it is some sort of financial vulnerability, something that is making you feel lost, uncomfortable, not in your comfort zone. It is very much where Spirit wants you to be right now so that you can learn the lessons of being more open, being softer, allowing people in, giving people the chance to see your emotions or what's happening behind your wall. Now we're going to get a few more cards from the Resurrection Oracle to find out what else Spirit wants you to know. What important message does Spirit have for my pile number 3? It's a yes. Beautiful. So there are going to be new things coming in pile number 3. Whatever is happening for you at the moment, do not feel frightened. And she's removed her mask. I just noticed too in this card, her mask has come off while she is flying free. So yeah, this is very much a reminder for you to remove that mask, to show your true self. That will be freeing for you. You will feel a lot better once you open up and just allow whatever feelings you're experiencing to be felt. You don't need to push them down. You are able to share them. And whatever this experience is that you are going through at this point in time, it will come to an end and better things are coming for you. So all of these good cards up here, I feel like this is Spirit's confirmation that this is a yes. You are sharing your burdens, you're lightening your load, and that is going to bring in new opportunities, new connections, new driving forces, new motivations. Just one more, please, Spirit. Relieve anxiety. Perfect. Yeah. Your message from Spirit, pile number 3, is that you do not need to feel anxious about the situation you're in, about sharing your feelings, about connecting with others. Maybe you are not in a relationship, but you want to get into one, but you're scared of being vulnerable around other people and letting people in. Maybe you've had a really rough trot with relationships in the past and you are too frightened to connect with someone because you don't want to give them the opportunity to hurt you. And if that's the case, you do not need to fear. You can stop stressing about whatever it is that you're stressing about. Even if it is, as I said, maybe you have been looking for a job and haven't been able to find one. There are going to be new opportunities in the works, but you need to open up and let people know where you're at. So that might even be that you let someone know that you're not employed, someone random that just happens to ask what you do for a living, and you let them know that you're not employed rather than trying to hide it. And that person happens to know someone that would be able to give you a job. There's different ways in which we can be vulnerable, but you are being asked by Spirit not to be anxious about this situation. You are exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And now, reading from the Daily Tarot, the Devil, I have the power to free myself and create the future that I deserve. So yeah, I feel like that's freeing yourself from this stoic energy of needing to be the person who keeps it together all the time. Maybe you are the absolute rock of your family and you feel that you can't show any sort of weakness, because if you do, your family is depending on you and they're not going to be able to deal with it. If that's the case, that is not the case. And the Devil also talks about being tied to thought forms that aren't good for you. It talks about being tied to all sorts of things that aren't good for you, but one of them is thought forms. So here, next to relieving anxiety, I feel that you need to remove your focus from being anxious about the situation that you're in and how things are going to go moving forward, and free yourself from that way of thinking. And that's hilarious because now we have the Fool with there is nothing to fear. Yeah, pile number 3, I feel that you guys are really stressed out and upset and struggling mentally, and you don't need to be. I feel like the important message for you is that you don't need to be. You could be sharing your worries and woes, and that you do have support and love around you and people that care and actually want to know what's going on for you. They're not just asking so that you can say good and then they can get on with talking about themselves. They genuinely want to help you. They genuinely want to know what they can do to make you feel better. And the 7 of Cups, I am ready to take positive action to achieve what I want in life. And the 7 of Cups is all about having a myriad of options, having a bunch of things to choose from, to the point that sometimes it can be difficult to know what to choose. So I feel that that is very much saying that new opportunities are going to be coming in for you. Group number 3, and if you are worried that maybe all of your good times are behind you, or that you are not going to be able to get back into a work position that is similar or the same as the one that you were in, or if you're not going to be able to find another relationship, or just a good relationship, a healthy, prosperous relationship, this is all confirmation that all of those things are absolutely out there waiting for you, all of them. But you need to open up, you need to be vulnerable. And I'm thinking of that song, damn, I can't think of the rapper's name now, but he sings, if you want love, you're going to have to go through the pain. If you want love, you're going to have to give some away. And that really, really resonates with this reading right now. I feel that if you want to bring all of this good stuff in for your life, you do need to give some of that love away. You need to open up, you need to connect, you need to be in tune with your emotions, and you need to be able to allow other people to help you and not just be on your own trying to possibly either focus your way out of things, so just being so anxious that you're trying to prepare for every single eventuality, and most of them, if not all of them, are never going to happen. Take yourself out of that headspace and actually allow yourself to see that there are people around you that wish to help, other people that are going to come up with good ideas and inspiration. There might be some really simple solutions to your problems, or even some really complex ones, but you have no idea about what those solutions are because you haven't allowed other people to help, and they're the ones that will come up with the solution. So sharing your burdens, removing the anxiety from your thinking, knowing that there are plenty of opportunities that are still going to be afforded to you, and that your best days are far from behind you, and that in being vulnerable, as I said before, you will not lose the ability to be the driver of your own life. You will be able to do what you want to do, but you will have help to do it. You will have love and support. You will have understanding. So now, to close you out, pile number 3, we're going to grab some cards from the Soul Wisdom Oracle for a final message of what important message does Spirit want you to know. Yeah, it's time to open up, show the world the real you, not be afraid of what people might think if they do see that softer side of you. Play, beautiful, be free and joyful. Yeah, absolutely perfect. And it might even be just, oops, I think I put that candle out with that card. It might even be that you need to just take some time out to remove yourself from this anxiety and just enjoy yourself. Come home and play with your kids. Maybe you work really hard and you don't really get a lot of time to do that, and this is Spirit's way of asking you to make that time. Or just going and doing something that's fun for yourself, removing yourself from the burdens of whatever you're experiencing so that you can actually just let a bit of joy back in. And that's even playing is a way of being vulnerable. Playing is a way of letting people see your softer side and your more fun side. Maybe you're someone who's very serious and you don't spend a lot of time just mucking around and having a laugh, or just taking a load off. Spirit really wants you to go easy on yourself right now and to let other people see that softer, more playful, more joyous side of you. And even if you don't feel joyful right now, that's not a instruction to put on a mask and pretend to be joyful. It's just allowing people to see what is going on for you and what is happening behind that mask. And I am light. You are a bright soul. That's a perfect way to finish. I feel that you are a light, bright, joyous person, but maybe that's even what you hide behind. Maybe it's just felt like you are, like I said, the rock for everybody, and you no longer feel light and bright and joyous because you feel so weighed down by everything that you have to deal with. And this is an important message from Spirit telling you that you do not have to deal with it alone, pile number 3, that you can be vulnerable, you can show that you're struggling, you can show your softer side, you will not lose anything in doing so. There is nothing to fear in releasing yourself a little to the ones that are around you until you can eventually release yourself a lot to the ones that are around you. But this is your call to embrace your masculine and feminine. And even with both of these cards here, with the Black and White Horse and the Lovers, to be able to find that balance between being strong and also being soft and showing what it is to be you without fear of any sort of recriminations or judgment. So pile number 3, if that resonated, please hit the like button, comment if you want to let me know what you thought of the reading, share if you think it'll resonate with someone else, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you have, and I've got a few new subscribers this week and I'm beyond excited about it, thank you so, so much. I really appreciate having you in my itty bitty soul fam vibe tribe, and I might see you in another pile, or I might see you in another reading. Hello there, my pile number 4. If you chose number 13, Explore Your Ancestry, then you are my pile number 4. Welcome to your reading. So I was actually nearly going to do a reading today, what do your ancestors want you to know? And then I decided to just go with a general, what important message does Spirit have for you? So it's interesting that this one came up. If you're here, this is a definite confirmation that your ancestors are watching over you. Could be a couple in particular, and that could be why you're being called to explore your ancestry, so that you're able to become familiar with the guardian angels and guides that you have from your own family and lineage that are watching over you right now and keeping you safe. But it could also be just learning more about who you are, where you come from, what your roots are. I feel that that will help you to feel very grounded, to add some complexity to your life, to give you some context for who you are and what you are all about. But also very much, I do feel that it is a sign that you have ancestors around you that are watching over you and protecting you, pile number 4. So now we're going to ask the Light Seers Tarot deck for some more information about what's been happening for you and what important message Spirit wants you to know. So maybe you've been feeling a bit unbalanced, a bit ungrounded. Potentially you are adopted, which is obviously only going to be a very small percentage of people, but maybe you just want to know more about your family. Maybe your parents didn't talk a lot about your family and your history. Ace of Wands, beautiful. So that's new energy coming through, new inspiration, new thought forms, new ideas, new creativity. And I feel that that will come with this exploring your ancestry. So you might find that you're related to someone that does something really awesome that you've always been really into, but you never knew that you had any sort of family history with that. So maybe say you discover that one of your great aunts or uncles was a musician, and that you have a history of music in your family. 5 of Cups, which is about letting things go and finding it a little bit difficult to do so. By the 8 of Cups, they're ready to walk away, but at the 5 of Cups, she's not noticing these 3 that she's still got here. She's just losing her energy into this hole where the cups are disappearing into. So pile number 4, maybe you're in a bit of a difficult place at the moment and it is time for you to start letting things go. And I feel that even exploring your ancestry can even talk about thinking about things that have happened when you were a child, things that you grew up with, patterns that you no longer want to continue in your life, especially with that Ace of Wands, new inspiration. Maybe you've recently had a child and you want to do things differently than how they were done for you. And so exploring your ancestry could also talk about looking back over those childhood patterns, or those patterns that were enforced upon you in childhood, taught to you in childhood. Or it could be even going back through your family tree to get an understanding of why your parents were the people that they were. What context they grew up in, how that affected the way that they raised you. And we have the Moon. So yeah, I feel like you're very much in a period of not knowing at the moment, pile number 4, where things feel difficult and not particularly illuminated, and you feel very much with both these cards sitting in the dark, all of her light going into this hole. Maybe it just feels like you've been staring into the void and you're not connecting with others, and you are not able to find your roots or feel that you have a sense of belonging, and exploring your ancestry could be the answer to that. Pile number 4, finding out where you come from, what your lineage is, what gifts and talents your ancestors had, connecting with those that might be watching over you once you get some more information on who they are. Beautiful, the Two of Cups. Yeah, finding connection, finding magic in these connections. And who knows, if you explore your ancestry, you hear about stories about people discovering new relatives and people that they didn't even know, new cousins, sometimes new sisters and brothers, which is probably not the most ideal. Yeah, and beautiful, the Star. I'm not going to take that other one. I just want this one, the Star, the wish come true card. So pile number 4, if things are dark for you at the moment and have felt like a struggle and like you are in darkness, please know that this light is coming back around for you. Things are going to become brighter, a lot clearer, and you are going to feel as though you can be hopeful again. You're not going to feel stuck in this tumultuous position in the dark, wrestling with whatever it is that you are wrestling with at this point in time, but connecting back to your ancestors, maybe even doing some sort of ritual that I don't know what it would be, so you would definitely need to look into it from someone who's far more experienced in magical workings than I am, but doing some sort of ritual that helps connect you with your ancestors, maybe even pulling some angel cards for yourself if you have access to them, or watching some angel card readings, or some spirit guide readings, ancestor readings. They could be what helps you tap into the support that you have in the otherworldly realms. But definitely things are going to get better for wherever things are right now for you and what you're struggling with. The important message that Spirit has for you is that things will improve, and looking back into your past can significantly help with that. So now we're going to grab some more cards from the Resurrection Oracle to find out what is the important message that Spirit has for my beautiful pile number 4. What important message is there for my pile number 4? It's a no. Okay. Interesting. Pile number 3, I'm pretty sure we got a yes. That's number 16, which adds to 7. Spirituality, analysis, inner wisdom, and introspection. Yeah, I feel like right now is not the time for you to necessarily be branching out into the 3D world, if that makes any sense. You don't need to hermit yourself away, but I feel like taking some time right now, taking time out. Maybe there is, I love the expression, rejection is divine protection. So maybe there's something that you've been shut out of and it feels that you are not supposed to be a part of that thing. If that is the case, that is where you are supposed to be right now, my pile number 4, because you are in this period of darkness. But it's not a no forever. I feel very strongly that this is talking about it being time for you to do some self-analysis and some introspection, to look into your past and start to make some connections in your family tree, and that once you have moved out of this period, that's when the light is going to start to come back in and you will know it's time to start moving forward. This feels like a time where you're not supposed to be taking any significant actions. You're to focus on letting go, allowing yourself to be carried along, trusting the process, allowing your journey to unfold without actually knowing what is coming up for you right now. So I feel that you're getting the most ambiguous message of all of the piles, number 4, but I feel like the universe is saying it's not the right time for you to know exactly what is going on. I love this. Listen to your guardian angel. As we were talking about exploring your ancestry and finding out who in your lineage could actually be your guardian angel. And 1 and 9 adds together to 10, which is completion, but it also adds together to 1, which is new beginnings, independence, ambition, and innovation. So yeah, pile number 4, I feel that all of the good things are going to start coming back for you, even if it feels like they're eluding you right now. But that it's a time to be introspective, a time to figure out where you come from and where you're going, and to know that things are going to turn around for you. New connections are waiting to be created and wishes are waiting to come true. But you need to trust in the process right now and listen to the voices of your guardian angels. You might have ancestors that are really wanting to speak to you about where you're at and what is happening for you, and you need to quiet your thoughts so that you can tap into that intuition and hear what it is that they're trying to say. Now we're going to read from the Daily Tarot to get some more messages on what important message does Spirit have for you, my beautiful pile number 4s. The Empress. I nurture the spiritual growth of myself and others. Yeah, perfect. While you're doing this introspection, while you're focusing inward, while you're looking into your family tree and trying to understand your lineage and the impact that the people that went before you had in this world, not just on the people that they raised that then went on to raise you, but in the world as a whole and at large. It's time for you to really nurture yourself, to really step into your spiritual side. Maybe it's something that you've been curious about for a while, but you haven't really had the courage or the motivation to explore it. And Spirit is letting you know that now is really the time for you to start doing that. And we have the Lovers. Beautiful. I honor the quality of love that I express in my relationships. And the Lovers talks about duality as well in the traditional deck. Masculine and feminine, the balance between the two. But the Lovers under the Two of Cups really tells me that you are going to be making real world connections once you have spent some time focusing inward and on your own spiritual growth and journey, what your own path is for the time being before you can actually open up to make those connections. And I want one more, but I think you're 2. Here we go. The Sun. Beautiful. I deserve happiness and share my joy and gratitude wherever I go. Yeah, pile number 4, especially with the Sun under the star here, the Wish card. You won't be in this darkness forever. You will not be in this moon energy, this ambiguity, this feeling lost and like you're floating through life at the moment. You're not going to be stuck in that energy forever. The Sun will come back out and shine its light on you and your life and what is happening, and you will be able to feel a very direct sense of, a very, very clear sense of direction. Now reading from the Soul Wisdom Oracle to close you out with a couple more messages about what important message does Spirit have for you, my pile number 4s. But yeah, things are you're going to be basking in the light again. It's a time for introspection, a time for winter to plant the seeds that you won't be able to see growing, but to start nourishing yourself and planting those seeds for things to grow that will soon be very, very visible to you, and you'll be able to see what you have achieved in this time of keeping to yourself and exploring who you are as a person, and doing that through getting to know your ancestry and what that means for you. Gift of Wisdom. You are powerful and wise. Beautiful pile number 4. I feel like you really are powerful and wise. And again, this feels like a very ancestry sort of card. This woman feels like she has been here from time immortal and is watching over everyone and everything. I feel that you are very strongly surrounded by and protected by guardian angels, and they're calling for you to get to know who they are. And this came out in the last 2 readings as well. Family tree. You are connected to your ancestors. So there's not a better way to finish this reading off, pile number 4, than the last card literally lining up exactly with the first card. Explore your ancestry and you are connected to your ancestors, and especially with the guardian angels card coming out right now too. So if you're stuck, if there's a situation you can't move forward, if there is something that has ended and you have experienced this no and this needing to let go of things, pile number 4, this feeling of being in darkness and not being able to see what the outcome of the situation is, I feel that your message, your important message from Spirit, is to start looking backward, start looking within, start looking backward, try to open your heart to receive the messages from your guardian angels and connect with family members specifically. It might even be a case of starting to reconnect with some family members to just talk to them about what they know about your family history. But you are absolutely connected to your ancestors, and they are calling to you right now. They want to be heard. They want to connect with you. They want you to speak your troubles to them so that they can help take them away and bring this sunshine in, bring this star energy in. So I think that was a pretty short and sweet one, pile number 4. I'm not too sure, but if you did resonate with the reading, please hit the like button. Comment if you want to let me know what you thought of it. Share if you think it'd resonate with someone else. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have, and I got some new subscribers this week, thank you so, so much. I love having you as part of my itty bitty soul fam, soul peeps vibe tribe. And I appreciate you letting me read for you. So I will see you in another pile, or I will see you in another reading.